Hi, this is Tim Cool with Cool Solutions Group. Did you know that in your facility, between 50 and 75% of your utility bill can be attributed to your air conditioning and heating? That is a big number. When you look at what you spend on utilities every month, and the biggest nut of that is tied to your air conditioning and heating bills, if you're looking at a way to save money, that's got to be the lowest hanging fruit. So here's some things that you may want to consider when you're looking to increase your energy efficiency. One is the biggest reason for excessive cost in HVAC is behavior. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean behavior? Well, behavior is how often do we turn it on? Do we turn it off when it's not being used? Do we turn the set points down when we don't need it quite as warm or as cool? Do we turn it up when we leave the building so that we're not using air conditioning when we don't need to? Behavior is an enormous component of what drives our utility cost. So what if you could control that better? So think in terms of building automation. Building automation, when I hear that, I immediately think, oh, you're going to spend tons and tons of money. It's going to be expensive. Well, building automation basically just means how do I control systems in my building automatically? How do I not have to rely on a human interaction to do that? So there's building automation systems that you can incorporate into your building. Yes, they're generally a little bit more expensive, but think maybe down the next layer. What if you had Wi-Fi thermostats or some other Wi-Fi enabled device that would allow you from a mobile phone or from your desktop to be able to control your heating and cooling tied to when you actually have use of the building? If that's something that you think you could incorporate, my guess is you could save anywhere from 15 to 25% on utility costs by only utilizing your heating and cooling when you really need it. And there's another benefit of that. It's what's called runtime. So when they tell you that an air conditioning unit should last you 10, 15, 20 years, whatever your manufacturer has recommended, they're assuming a certain amount of runtime. How many times a day will it come on and off, and how many hours in a month will it run? Well, if you're only using your facility certain hours and you've been able to figure out a way to automate your air conditioning to when you're using it, now all of a sudden you have reduced that runtime, which means you may actually extend the life of your air conditioning units 1, 2, 3 more years. And if you don't have to replace them for an additional 1 to 3 years, how much money is that going to save your organization? So if you're thinking about wanting to explore this, check out a number of different sites. There's you can go to IFMA, International Facility Managers Association. You can look at the ASHRAE, which is the body that generates all of the codes for HVAC. We also have a product called eSpace, which has a component of HVAC integration to scheduling software. You can check that out at espace.cool. But be intentional about this and look for ways to save money.